Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Amateur Baking Hour. I'm your curly haired host and baker, Juritza, and today we are going to be baking some brownie cookies in honor of Super Bowl 54. Now, I know you guys see dolphin wear, and no, we did not make it into the Super Bowl this year, but there's hope. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, so let's go over the ingredients. We are going to start with 24 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. After that, we are going to have 1/2 cup of butter. Next, we are going to have 3 large eggs right over here. 1 cup of white sugar. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and lastly, 1/2 cup of mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. All right then, we are also going to need our handy dandy whisk, spatulas, because they're always good to have. And today we're going to be using a saucepan because we're going to be melting some things first. And of course, usually I use the whisk for everything, but today I also will be using I will be using this, which is awesome. And this is extremely helpful. Okay, are we ready to get started? The first thing we're going to do is melt together the 12 ounces of chocolate chips with the 1/2 cup of butter. Make sure that the butter and the chocolate are really well combined before we get them off the stove and let them cool. It should take about 5 minutes or less, okay? So the first thing we're going to be doing is turning on our stove and placing the 1 stick or the 1/2 cup of butter, either or, so both the same. And we're gonna pour the 12 ounces right in there. Make sure to turn it on high, and with 1 spatula, you can start moving it, giving it a few minutes to melt. This is going to take some time, so make sure to take your time. It takes some time, but as long as you keep moving it around, making sure that it doesn't stop and just simmer. Make sure that you have this nice, creamy looking chocolate. Make sure that the butter and the chocolate are super well combined, but it's not gonna start overheating. So it looks like it's about right. It's about ready to just sit and wait. So we're gonna set this aside, turn off the stove, set this aside. Okay, so once you have the butter and the 12 ounces of chocolate completely melted, set it aside, and let's get started on mixing everything else. So we're going to get the 3 eggs, and we're gonna start with the 3 eggs. Get a large bowl for this, and we're gonna start cracking 1 egg after the other. We're gonna mix basically everything together. So 1, ooh, man, these are some large eggs. 2, 3. After that, don't forget your sugars. Again, 1 cup of the regular white sugar plus 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Next, you're going to get your baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon. Make sure it's all in there. Your salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Your vanilla, 1 full teaspoon of this beautiful vanilla. We're gonna start mixing this on high speed for about 5 minutes. So if I were you, I'd set a timer for exactly 5 minutes. And let's get to work, shall we? What a workout. 5 minutes are finally up, and since we're not using a stand mixer, I'm going to stop this all together while I add the other ingredients, as opposed to just reducing it to a low speed. If you are using a stand mixer, then just go from high to really low so we can add the flour and the melted chocolate. So now that this is nice and bubbly and very thick, I'm gonna grab my clean spatula and just scrape the sides, because it's always a good thing to scrape the sides. Make sure you have everything incorporated as much as possible. And now let's add the 3/4, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 3/4 cup of flour with the 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And we're also going to be adding the melted chocolate. It should still be very nice and melted. By the way, nice, melted, and thick right over here. Oh my God, it looks so creamy. So we're going to be adding this to the batter as well, because this is, after all, a brownie cookie. And the last thing we're going to be adding is the chocolate chips. Oh, hold on. Make sure to get every single bit of chocolate that you can, because you cannot let chocolate go to waste ever, 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 ever. It's a sin. So no, it's frowned upon. Our 1/2 cup of mini chocolate chips. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to the stand mixer if you have it, or the hand operated mixer if, in my case. But we're gonna put it to the low speed, and you're just going to mix it until it's well incorporated. Don't over mix. And yeah, so let's do that probably for about a minute, should not be more than that. And yeah, let's see what this looks like. Again, we want to get it as well incorporated as possible. It starts to get a little harder and a little thicker, but it's, you know, until it's well combined. With the spatula, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it, just so that, again, I get everything down to the bottom of the bowl, because sometimes a hand mixer does not get all of it. We are ready. We need to put this in the refrigerator. So we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it, put it in the refrigerator for about 30 to 45 minutes before it is hard enough for us to shape into what we want. So go ahead and cover it with saran wrap, pop it in the fridge, and I'll see you guys back in a bit. Thanks. Hi, and welcome back. So the 1/2 hour to 45 minutes in the fridge chilling should have made it pretty solid. And now it's time to turn our ovens on to 350 degrees. I did not forget that. Get a cookie sheet or a cookie pan, whatever is easiest for you. I have my non-stick right over here. And it's time to get ready to place these cookie balls, or what we're about to make, onto this so it can bake for 8 to 10 minutes. Now, I do have 2 cookie cutters because I wanted to do football theme. Let's see how it's gonna work out for me. So, hands washed, ready to go. I have a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon kind of scoop. So we're gonna scoop this out real quick. It's good that it's nice and thick. I'm gonna get a little bit more just to see how it'll look. Roll it into a ball, kind of, and then I would say press it onto the cookie sheet. Let's see. And then hopefully I can get a football out of here. Haha! And yes, I can. So I'm gonna make a few of these, see how they come out. If you guys don't have cookie cutters, do not even worry about it. You can just literally get it into a regular ball. Make it 1.5 in size, roughly, like yeah, about 1.5 inches. And see how it comes out. Let's see. Now, as you see, I have attempted to do some football-shaped brownie cookies. We're gonna pop this into the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. So let's put that in right now. And then we sit and wait. And while we wait, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about me. Now, some of you who are watching the video know me personally, so hi, thank you so much for being awesome and supporting. Others who don't know me but have just, I guess they know me through these videos, thank you for watching them. I hope I have taught you something. If not, you at least got a good laugh out of this. I am, like I said, your host. My name is Juritza. I live here in Miami, in Homestead right now. I guess a little bit of history. So I have been baking since summer freshman year of high school. It was actually for an extra credit to boost up one of my classes, and I ended up liking it. And I started out doing just brownies from the box, but from there I looked up recipes for cookies, and I started doing chocolate chip, peanut butter, and I don't know, I kind of just fell in love with it. But I never really saw myself as a baker. I just did it as a hobby to release stress, usually at 3 in the morning when I was stressed out about a test or something like that. I'm a terrible test taker. Long story short, a couple of years later, I started getting back into the whole baking thing and taking it a little bit more seriously, which is why I do this now. The goal of Amateur Baking Hour is not just to bake, but the purpose of it is to introduce different people to the world. A lot of them, they either have a cause, they have their own business, they have a foundation, something that they want to push out there and they want more awareness. And that's what I'm here for, to do two things at once. So it's kind of a twofer. I have to say that along this journey, I've been having a lot of fun. I really enjoy the whole baking thing. I enjoy getting to know new people. I enjoy asking questions because I'm kind of nosy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm Hispanic. I mean, it's in my genes. I can't help it. But I'm always looking to meet new people, and I really want to get to that level of having someone who watched my show, who really enjoyed it, be like, you know what? I want to call her and I want her to come over. You know, I want everyone to experience the joy of baking. Even if it's just a one-time thing where you tend to have fun, where you kind of escape your normal routine and do something out of the ordinary, try a different recipe, try something new. That's what I want to share with you guys. And that is the purpose and that is the goal of this series, I guess you would say, these episodes. Sure, we'll figure it out. I do want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching and for tolerating me throughout this entire thing. I really do appreciate it, because this is clearly amateur hour all the time. And I hope you guys do continue to watch my shows and to share with your friends, your family, co-workers, the person that keeps asking you for money, all of them, because the more you guys support me, the more I can keep doing this and keep doing something that I enjoy and bringing it to you guys. So cool. We have probably a few more minutes left for the brownie cookies to bake. So I will see you guys in a bit. Thanks. Welcome back. After a couple of minutes, the cookies were definitely ready. The cookie brownies, I keep forgetting. So the cookie brownies were ready. I let them cool for a bit and they look incredible, delicious. This house smells like chocolatey goodness and I'm very happy. Clearly you can see that the cookie cutters that I used kind of expanded the brownie cookie. So it's okay if you made the footballs by hand like I attempted to do for the other ones. They actually looked a little better. So now it's time to, I guess, put the finishing touches. I have marshmallow fluff because I don't have buttercream in the house right now. But if you have buttercream, if you have royal icing, which is what people usually use for cookies, you can definitely use that. I'm gonna do a little twist and use my marshmallow fluff. Let's try and make these look like actual footballs, yes? Bam! I think it's super adorable. Do not make fun of me for my football. But yeah, I think it's ready to go. Now the last step, of course, the most important step, is to try it out, see how this works. So let's see how our brownie cookie came out with the marshmallow fluff. This is delicious. It's so chocolatey and brownie-ish, but still like a cookie. It's good. And thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Amateur Baking Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And as always, happy baking. Bye.